Ladies and gentlemen, let me speak to you for a moment about something most people never truly understand: the power of valuing yourself. In a world full of distractions, noise, and expectations, it's easy to give away your worth to anyone who asks for it. But let me tell you this: when you recognize your value, when you truly respect your time, your energy, and your purpose, you stop settling for less. And when you stop settling, you begin to attract nothing but the best in people, in opportunities, and in life itself. This isn't just talk. It's a principle as old as success itself. And today I want to break it down into 5 key ways that valuing yourself transforms the life you live. When you respect yourself, you send a message to the world about what you will and will not accept. Respect is a language everyone understands, even if it's unspoken. It's the energy you carry, the way you hold your head, the way you answer, the way you move through life. People can feel it. They can sense when someone doesn't value themselves, when someone allows their boundaries to be trampled, when someone trades their peace for the approval of others. And the sad part is, when you don't respect yourself, the world doesn't treat you any differently. It doesn't care about your dreams, your potential, or your time. It sees an opportunity and it takes it. That's why self-respect isn't optional. It's essential. It's the first line of defense, the foundation that everything else in your life is built on. Respecting yourself means understanding that your time, energy, and heart are valuable commodities. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your energy is sacred, that your time is a resource no one can borrow without your permission. When you respect yourself, you no longer allow people to drain you with negativity or take advantage of your kindness. You start noticing patterns. Who appreciates you, who uses you, who lifts you up, and who tears you down. That awareness comes from self-respect. It's not about being hard or unapproachable. It's about being conscious. It's about holding your own standard even when the world is telling you to compromise. Think about brands for a second. The high-end brands, the ones people look at and say, I want that, don't lower their price just to sell to anyone. They know their worth. A Louis Vuitton bag doesn't drop to $50, 0 cents because someone wants it. It holds its value because it represents quality, integrity, and exclusivity. You are the same way. When you respect yourself, you're signaling that your worth is not up for negotiation. Your time, your energy, your dreams, your morals, these are not items to be bartered. You don't have to chase validation because you already have it from the one person that matters most, yourself. Let's take a real-world example. Look at entrepreneurs, especially those who build something from nothing. They face temptation every day to take shortcuts, to compromise, to follow the path of least resistance just for a quick win. Some do it, and they might see some money, some recognition, but it rarely lasts. The true visionaries are the ones who refuse to compromise their standards. They know that every decision, every relationship, every partnership must align with the value they place on themselves. And here's the magic. While they might miss out on short-term gains, they attract long-term opportunities that are bigger, cleaner, and more meaningful. It's the law of alignment. Respect yourself, and the world adjusts to meet your level. Respecting yourself also means not tolerating disrespect disguised as love, friendship, or opportunity. Far too many people allow themselves to be taken advantage of because they are afraid of confrontation or rejection. They compromise their values for the sake of temporary comfort, and in the process, they teach the world how to treat them. But when you stand firm, when you say, this is who I am, this is what I deserve, you create a filter. You filter out people, situations, and energies that are not in alignment with your worth. You protect your space. You protect your growth. You protect your peace. This isn't just philosophy, it's strategy. History is full of examples. Think about leaders who changed the course of their industries or communities. They didn't achieve greatness by bending to fit the expectations of others. They held their standard high even when it was lonely, even when doors closed, even when people doubted them. Their self-respect became a beacon, drawing the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances into their lives. Self-respect is magnetic. It's not loud. It doesn't beg. It simply says, I am worth it. And the world eventually has no choice but to respond. Respecting yourself also shapes how you handle failure and success. When you have a deep understanding of your worth, failure doesn't define you. It's not a judgment on your character. It's a lesson, a step on the journey. And success doesn't make you arrogant or careless because you know your value doesn't fluctuate based on external circumstances. People who respect themselves understand that their worth is intrinsic. It doesn't come from what they have or what others think about them. That inner certainty creates resilience. It creates confidence, and it attracts others who value integrity over opportunism. Let's bring it closer to home. How many relationships fail not because love wasn't there, but because one person failed to respect themselves? You can't give from an empty vessel. You can't allow people to walk over you and expect love to thrive. When you respect yourself, you set boundaries, communicate clearly, and refuse to accept anything less than what aligns with your standards. And in doing so, you create a space where true connection can happen, authentic relationships where both people uplift, respect, and challenge each other to be better. Respecting yourself also teaches you patience. When you know your worth, you don't settle for the first opportunity that comes your way just because it's convenient or easy. You wait for the right door to open. You understand that timing is everything and that sometimes the right opportunity requires discipline, persistence, and the courage to say no to the wrong ones. Patience becomes a form of power. It's the quiet confidence that the universe will deliver what aligns with your value when the time is right. Another part of self-respect is investing in yourself, your body, your mind, your skills, your growth. All of these require attention and care. When you respect yourself, you understand that neglecting these areas is disrespecting your own potential. People who prioritize their growth, their knowledge, their health, and their craft are the ones who naturally attract excellence. It's simple. If you don't value yourself enough to invest in yourself, how can you expect others to value you? The world mirrors what you put out, and when you respect yourself, you send out a signal that you are someone worth noticing, worth supporting, worth trusting. And let's not forget consistency. Respecting yourself isn't a one-time act. It's a daily practice. It's how you treat yourself when no one is watching, how you hold your standards even when it's uncomfortable, how you make decisions that honor your worth rather than your ego. Every choice you make either reinforces your value or diminishes it. The people who rise, the people who leave legacies are consistent in their self-respect. They don't waver for popularity, for fear, or for short-term comfort. They remain steadfast, and that steadfastness becomes a magnet for quality relationships, opportunities, and experiences. Respecting yourself ultimately comes down to awareness. Awareness of your worth, awareness of your energy, awareness of the long-term impact of your choices. It's understanding that your life is a reflection of how you value yourself, and that by holding your standard high, you not only change your own trajectory, but you influence the world around you. You become an example. You become a standard bearer. You inspire others to value themselves too, creating ripples that extend far beyond your own life. When you respect yourself, you no longer chase validation, you no longer bend to fit expectations, and you no longer accept less than you deserve. You understand that respect is contagious, that the energy you bring to the table dictates the quality of the people and opportunities that come into your life. The world may test you, challenge you, and try to take advantage of you, but your self-respect is your anchor. It keeps you grounded, focused, and aligned with your purpose. It's not easy. Respecting yourself in a world that constantly tells you to settle, to compromise, to give away your energy for free takes courage. But courage is built on a foundation of self-worth. Every time you honor your boundaries, every time you refuse to take shortcuts, every time you hold your standard high, you strengthen that courage. And over time, it becomes a force so powerful that it not only protects you, but also elevates everyone around you. Respecting yourself is revolutionary. It's radical. It's the first step toward attracting ability, people, opportunities, experiences, because you've shown the world that you are not negotiable. Your energy is sacred, your time is valuable, your heart is priceless. When you embrace that, you stop settling for scraps and start walking toward abundance. And that's why self-respect sets the standard. Because when you respect yourself, the world has no choice but to respect you too. It becomes your invisible armor, your guiding principle, your compass. You will walk taller, speak louder, love deeper, and achieve greater things simply because you recognize the power you hold within. Self-respect isn't just about saying no, it's about saying yes to the life you were meant to live, to the people who deserve to be in your space, and to the opportunities that align with your value. It's the quiet but undeniable force that changes everything. Confidence is a quiet force. It doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to prove itself. When you value yourself, confidence comes naturally because it's born from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's an understanding deep in your bones that your presence, your ideas, your energy have weight in this world. And when you carry that understanding, people notice. Doors open, Opportunities show up. Relationships start aligning. It's a subtle gravity, a pull that draws towards you what resonates with your value. Most people mistake confidence for bragging or loud displays, but true confidence is silent power. It's how you hold yourself when nobody's watching. It's how you respond to challenges without shrinking. It's how you make decisions that honor your worth instead of bending to fear or expectation. Confidence doesn't come from what others tell you about yourself. It comes from the respect you have for your own journey, your own skill, and your own purpose. And once you have it, it radiates, whether you realize it or not. Look at the people we admire, the ones who seem to have life in the palm of their hand. They weren't handed success. They weren't born with shortcuts paid for them. Every single one of them stepped into rooms knowing their value, even if nobody else did at first. They knew their contribution mattered. And because of that quiet conviction, opportunities began to find them. They didn't chase validation. They were anchored in their worth. And the world, without fail, responded to it. Confidence changes the way people perceive you. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology highlights something simple but powerful. Confident people are seen as more competent, more capable, more trustworthy. It's not magic, it's human nature. When you walk into a room with quiet certainty, people can't help but take notice. They want to collaborate, to invest, to connect. Confidence attracts because it signals value. And here's the truth. People naturally mirror the energy you project. If you feel small, the world will feel small. If you carry yourself with quiet assurance, the world leans in. Real life examples of confidence in action are everywhere if you look closely. Think about entrepreneurs pitching investors, artists presenting their work, leaders stepping into critical meetings. Those who succeed do so not because they have all the answers, but because they understand their value. They know their skills, their vision, their worth. And that understanding becomes magnetic. Investors, collaborators, mentors, they all feel it. Opportunities aren't random. They are drawn to the energy of someone who knows what they're worth. Confidence is the signal that says, I belong here, I have something to give, and it matters. Confidence also reshapes how you approach risk. People who doubt themselves see risk as a threat, a potential for failure, something to avoid. But confident people see risk differently, as a test, a challenge, a necessary step to growth. They understand that failure doesn't diminish their value, and success isn't an accident. Every choice is a reflection of their worth. They step forward even when the path isn't clear because their confidence is a compass, guiding them through uncertainty. And it's in that movement, that willingness to act despite fear, that real opportunity shows up. Think about a time in your own life when you doubted yourself. Maybe it was asking for a promotion, pitching an idea, or speaking your truth. When you hesitated, when self-doubt crept in, what happened? Likely, nothing changed. The opportunity slipped by because hesitation carries a subtle signal, a lack of certainty, a lack of belief. But when you step forward with confidence, even imperfectly, people notice. They respond. The world meets you where you stand. And that is the core of why confidence attracts opportunities. It tells the universe you are ready, that you are capable, that you are worthy. Confidence is also contagious. When you carry it, it elevates everyone around you. Teams respond better, friends trust you more, mentors invest their energy in you. It creates a ripple effect. The energy of self-belief doesn't exist in isolation, it spreads. And the more you practice confidence, the more natural it becomes. At first, it may feel like you're pretending, but with every action that honors your value, it strengthens. Eventually, it's no longer an act, it's a truth you live and breathe. Another layer of confidence is authenticity. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves. Pretending to be something you're not, trying to fit molds, or conforming to what others expect doesn't attract opportunities, it attracts temporary approval. Confidence rooted in authenticity is magnetic because it is real. It communicates trustworthiness and reliability. When you are comfortable in your own skin, when you honor your voice and your vision, you naturally draw the people and circumstances that belong in your life. Confidence also teaches resilience. The road to opportunity is rarely smooth. Rejection, setbacks, and criticism are inevitable, but confident people navigate these moments differently. They see them as feedback, not as reflections of their worth. They bounce back faster, stronger, and more focused. And because they remain anchored in their value, every setback becomes an opportunity to sharpen their skills, refine their approach, and reinforce their presence in the world. Confidence transforms obstacles into stepping stones. It's important to note that confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward despite fear. Every successful person you can think of has felt doubt, insecurity, and hesitation. What separates those who rise from those who remain stagnant is the commitment to act with the belief that their contribution matters. That belief becomes a signal, and the world responds to signals. Opportunities begin to align not because they are forced, but because the energy you carry is a beacon for what you are ready to receive. Confidence also influences the people you attract. When you respect your own value, the people you bring into your life reflect that. They are collaborators, mentors, supporters, people who elevate you rather than diminish you. The world rarely gives you respect you don't already show yourself. By carrying yourself with quiet certainty, you attract relationships that mirror your energy and reinforce your growth. Confidence doesn't just open doors. It sets the stage for the quality of life you build behind those doors. But think about the way you speak, the way you move, the way you make decisions. Every subtle act of self-assurance sends a signal. People pick up on it subconsciously. They trust you, they listen to you, they take your ideas seriously. And over time, those small acts compound into momentum. A confident mindset becomes a lifestyle. It changes your trajectory, your circle, and the opportunities that come your way. Ultimately, confidence is the bridge between self-worth and external achievement. Without confidence, talent, skill, and preparation can remain invisible. But when you walk into the world grounded in belief in yourself, you activate a force that attracts what belongs to you. You don't chase the right opportunity chases you. You don't beg for respect, respect naturally finds you. You don't hope for the right people, they show up because your energy signals readiness. Confidence is the currency of influence, and influence opens doors. So understand this, confidence isn't about arrogance, showmanship, or ego. It's about knowing your worth, honoring it, and acting in alignment with it every day. The world responds to certainty, not uncertainty. It responds to energy, not noise. And the more grounded you are in your own value, the more opportunities will appear, not as random luck, but as a natural consequence of the energy you emit. Every step you take with confidence is a statement. I am here, I am worthy, I have something to offer, and I will not settle for less. And when you live like that, the world has no choice but to recognize it. Opportunities align, relationships deepen, doors open, and life begins to reflect the belief you carry in your own heart. Confidence doesn't just change your life, it changes the world around you because it shifts the energy you send into everything you touch. Valuing yourself is more than just believing in your worth. It's also about understanding that your energy is the most precious resource you have. Every thought, every action, every relationship takes from it. And if you're not careful, it gets drained by people, situations, and obligations that don't align with your purpose. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's survival. It's the difference between moving forward in life and spinning your wheels in the chaos of other people's agendas. Boundaries are the tool that allows you to guard your energy and keep your life moving in the direction you want it to go. Most people have no idea how much of their energy is given away without thought. We say yes because we feel guilty saying no. We sacrifice our own dreams to help someone else achieve theirs. We allow toxic people, demanding relationships, and endless distractions into our space. And slowly, our energy is chipped away until we feel drained, frustrated, and stuck. That's why boundaries are not optional. They are essential. They aren't walls to shut people out, they're gates. They determine who and what has access to your life. They